Good day. This is going to be a Metatrader tour. So some of these things you may already know, some you may not. Some you're just learning about them for the very first time. But here we go. So this is in the bottom right hand corner. This is lets you know whether you're connected or not. And if it's all green, you know you're connected. If it's green and red, you know you are connected. If it's all red, it's usually going to tell you why you're not connected, whether it's a bad, invalid server, invalid account. It'll tell you all that information over there in the right hand corner, and it'll chime or make another noise, and that'll be very distinctive to let you know whether you're connected or not. And let's say if you're having problems with that, then you just go over to login trade account. Go into login trade account, and then you type in your account information and log in, and that should take you right where you need to be. The account information, you can see I'm in a demo account. The account information is going to be up here in the left hand corner. It's going to tell you the account number. It's going to tell you it's a demo account, and obviously the broker. So this brokerage is KOT. And additionally, let's go back to the bottom. We'll go from here. We'll start from the bottom up. So the bottom is going to show you your uh, the balance, your equity, the free margin. That's the trade tab, right? So this is the terminal button. That terminal button is located right here. I can easily make that terminal disappear and come back just like that, easily. Or I can drag this down like such. If I want to move it in any direction, I can, drag it down where I don't see anything, or I can just click this button. So then you have exposure. That just tells you, positions that you have exposed in terms of positions that you have open, and the account history. That's also going to reflect in the trade tab. If you have open positions, it's going to reflect there. And then the account history is going to tell you, it's going to show you, like I just took a little demo trade here. It's going to show you your profit and loss, any credits, deposit, withdrawals, and it's going to show you the time the order number, the time you took the trade, the direction, the size, the instrument, the price you got in at, the stop loss, the take profit, the time that you exited that trade. So you can see the difference: 34, 35, just a 1 second situation. And the price is going to show any other relevant information, including whether you made a profit or a loss over here. So the benefit of the account history area is so that you can go back and review trades and see what you did right, what you did wrong, how much did you make on a trade. You also can use, if you ever have any issues accounting wise, or hey, that don't look right, then the brokerage that you use is going to want this order number, and you can start to give them all this data. So then you have news, you have alerts. You're not going to really use news, mailbox, market, signals, articles, code base, experts, journals. You're not going to really use any of that stuff. But the alerts function, any alerts that you set to let you know that price is approaching a certain area, or price has moved up or down to a certain point, all of that's going to show right here. And so then we go over. Let's see. All right, so the right side here is going to always show what the price is in this little white box. It's going to show what the price is as it's moving up and down. That is what the price is, 1635. This is called the scale. This is the vertical scale. So you can drag this, make it. There are going to be points where you need to, drag your stop loss up here or drag it down here, or either direction, and you need a little bit more space. That's how you're going to use this right hand side. Now the to close out this, we're in Ethereum right now. To close it out, you would click this small X. A lot of people make the mistake of clicking the big X, but you click the small one, and you can open up another one, or you just close it out and have a blank screen. So the what you see here, this space over here, I want to talk about that a little bit. So you click this button right here. So this automatically shifts the chart. And so you don't really have any mental space. So I like to have this click like that so that I have this mental space over here. And then this button basically is auto scroll. So that's auto scroll. So if I have it clicked, it automatically keeps scrolling as the new candles keep opening and closing. It keeps scrolling to the right. And the benefit of having it unclicked is that I can go back in history, go back in time and look and see, whatever I want to see in that way. Let's just go back, way back here. This is what is this? 2021. So as soon as I click this button, boom, it goes all the way back to the right, which I love. And, this is magnifying, so you can make it smaller, you can make it bigger. I mean, the benefit of this is obvious. I think that you can see more detail. So when you start to look at levels and where the market has been over a period of time, you can get really, really granular with this thing, or you can get really, really detailed like such. So that's that. This is the time period clock. And I'm mostly going to be pointing out the most useful things, right? And so even though this is already over here, you can just, hey, we can click that and go to the 4 hour time frame, or we can click that and go to the 1 hour time frame. Essentially, it's really the same thing. And while we're here, this represents the monthly chart. So it's showing you a month of price action per candle. This is showing you a week of price action per candle. This is showing you um, a daily chart, and each candle is representing 1 day in price, 4 hours in price each candle, 1 hour in price each candle, and I think you get the point. This is the template button. So the template button is used to save a template. So if you like your chart a certain way, if you want a certain moving average on it, or you want to have different templates for different reasons, maybe you want to try different colors, you can save your templates, load and save templates here, right? So that's what that's for, load and save. You can save as many as you want to save, and you would save them there and load them there. And then the benefit of that is, just say, for instance, I pull up a new chart. So how do I do that? I go to File, I go to New Chart, I pull up US dollar Swiss franc, and it's going to look like this. And if I already have a template saved the way I like it to look, any other indicators I already have on it or whatnot, then it'll automatically pop it up the way that I want to see it. And then I can just go over here, click the X, close it out like such. So that's that. These are the different types of, you're predominantly going to be on a candlestick chart, but we could put it on a line chart. A line chart. Let me show you how to get the line chart up. So you go to right click, you go to properties, and then for the line chart, notice you can make all kinds of adjustments. If you want to change the color of the candles, you want to change the background, the foreground, the grid. Notice I don't have a grid on there. I can put a grid on here. Let's just see what that looks like. See, that's what a grid would look like on there. But I took that off because that just looks confusing to me. And you can change the colors of the candles and so forth. And then if I want a line graph, I can just, hey, let me pop in yellow. And when I change that to yellow, boom, I can get a line graph. And that line graph really just shows you the key peak areas where, the market may have turned in different areas and so forth. Like previous areas the market turned, so that you can identify potential turning points and so forth. That's the power of a line graph. But this is where you're going to operate to execute. And then a bar chart is just, saying it's representing price, right? So it shows you that it opened on the bottom, that little tick to the, let me blow this up. When that tick is on the left, that shows you where it opened. When that tick is on the right, it shows you where it closed. Where it opened, where it closed, where it opened, where it closed. And then the lows and the highs are a part of that. So that's what that is. Auto trading, you're not going to really do any auto trading. That's just basically automatic execution via some kind of bot. So you're not going to be using that. This is for trade signals. Not going to be using that. This is something around virtual server. Not going to be using any of this, but you will be using this new order feature right here, right? So new order, like this is Ethereum. You'll have whatever your volume is for your position size. You're gonna you could type in the stop loss here and you can type in and take profit there, but obviously there's another video talking about how you set that up. This is just a tour of MetaTrader. And market executions, there are different types of execution from market to pending order, sell, sell by market, buy by market. That gets you into the market immediately. So that's that. We'll be using that a lot. And this, you can put check marks and thumbs and up arrows to kind of give yourself, let's say you say, hey, this is in an uptrend. I want to only be looking for buys, and you want to give yourself that little notation, then you could do that in that way and it'll be on the chart. All kinds of drawing tools, draw text labels. So you can also just do something like this, like text. What do I want to put in here? Way up, and you can just drop that on the chart and it'll be there. Pretty much the same thing is, this right here. I use this to draw on the chart or to label a chart. Like, hey, you'll see me say break a structure, and I can move that wherever I want to put it. And that's a useful thing, very useful thing. And notice how I'm double tapping on it and that little dot pops up. And I can just go in here, right click on it and text properties. And then I can make any adjustments, change the size, font, all that kind of stuff. Color, you can do all of that. And then I can just delete. You also can get rid of these things by right clicking and going to object list. So it'll show all the objects on the screen. It'll show all the objects. And I can say, hey, there's a trend line somewhere on here. There's a label. The arrow is what we want to get rid of. So let's go down to this arrow and say delete. See how it just gets rid of that. Next up is, and these are like this Fibonacci retracement is what that's called. You won't be using that. Now you will be using the rectangle, to draw out areas and so forth. And that's how that looks. And you'll be using this. This is a trend line, but you can do it like that, however you want to do it. Now here, notice how that's a left click to lock it in, left click to unlock it, double left click. And when you first start, your trend line is going to be set to array, and that's just going to put a line all the way across the screen like that. So to change that, let me show you what I mean. So look how see how it did that? And you really don't have any control over it. So if you want to change that, you left click on it twice and then change it from that to this. And now I can do all of that myself and put it wherever I want to put it. So that's your trend line. And then this is that's just a straight up horizontal line. Now you could do the same thing for the horizontal line. Well, I thought you could. Maybe you can't. So you can't do that for the horizontal line. It's just going to go straight across. And the vertical line, the power of this vertical line is just being able to go back and say, hey, all right, well, where did I take that trade? Let me drop a vertical line on there and then go into the details. And you can do the same thing there in terms of, hey, you double click and delete. You don't want to see it anymore, double click and delete. You're definitely going to be using the crosshair, right? Crosshair is just basically, just to move around. And when you left click on it and hold it down, wherever you put it, you see three numbers there. The first number is how many candles I went over to the left or right, right? The second number is how many pips I went up or down from where I put the crosshair. So that's 100 and So that is 139 because you're going to drop the last digit. And then the actual price is 1557.78, right? Or point 0.7. So that is how you do that. And that's going to be helpful when you start to look at stop losses and so forth. It's like, oh, okay, well, what kind of stop loss do I have to have? Oh, 184 pips if I sell right here. That's what I really use that for. And then, mathematically, you can do the calculations really, really quickly. All right. So this is just, pointing around, and, you can move it around and move it around and move it around and point to things and click on other stuff. So moving up to this bar, so you can create a new chart from here, right? You don't have to go to file. You can create a new chart from there and pick any one of these. It's all going to be, under these drop downs is going to be whatever is, if it's Forex crosses, all of them are going to be there. Cryptos, all of them are going to be under cryptos and so forth. So that's what that button is for. And this is for different 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 um, profiles that you can set up. Let's say, for instance, you wanted to have a profile where you are, like, you see this simulation there, right? So that simulation is just, I have a simulation setup where I can run simulation on the weekend or whenever. So I can just go to that, click on it, and then it'll show me that simulation situation. If I only want a euro pairs, I can just go to euro and so forth. So you can create those, remove them, add them, and save new ones, etc. This market watch is what this is, just showing you what the bid and ask, what the spread is between all the different currencies and so forth. And let's say you don't see everything that you want to see. What you would do is right click inside of here, click show all. And that's going to then give you access to all the instruments that you may not necessarily see. Data window. This is, when you have some open positions. This here is just showing the navigator window. Shows you, like, if you want to add indicators, expert advisors, etc., rotate in between accounts and so forth. You can do that through the navigator window. We already talked about that. See how that just drops that away. And strategy tester, you're not going to use that. And we got the rest of this row. So help, obviously, you can just go through that and listen. You can't break anything. So if you're curious about something, click on it. If you're curious about it, click on it. Window, I can do all kinds of tile situation. I can tile them horizontally. If I have more tiles, let me just do that so you can see what it looks like. So when I go to window, well, this is also that button, right? So you see how I just put them side by side? And then if I want to cascade, I can put them on top of each other. I'm not going to usually have more than one thing open, so it's really not that crucial. But somebody may choose to do something different. So then you have your tools, new order, options. This takes you into being able to show trade levels. So, you can take your trade levels off the chart. You can leave them on the chart. This just shows the max bars in history, allows you to go back, decide how far you want the market to go, how far you want it to go back in terms of access to data that you want to look at. And so you can just change this, play with it and change it. And you can go back further or further, or you can go back less. A lot of this you're not going to use. Trade, one-click trading. You want that click so that when you decide that you want to get into a market and you click that buy, it's not giving, prompting you to say, hey, are you sure about this? It's getting you in at that particular point. Expert advisors, all of this you're not really interested in. Notifications. So this enable notifications, notify of trade transactions. So this is connected to my MetaTrader platform, my MetaTrader on my phone, and it automatically sends notifications. So you can set that up. That's also, there's a separate video on how to set that up. And the rest of this you're really not using. Charts, you can do all the different things related to charts here. You can insert all kinds of indicators if you choose to do so. You can insert the lines, you can insert channels, all of these, excuse me, all of these different things. You obviously know that I keep it super simple, and there's nothing on my chart that I'm not using or I'm using that is not part of my decision making process. So if it's on the chart, it has something to do with making a good decision. So keep your charts as clean as possible. Hey, if you don't speak English, you can change the language. You can do whatever you want to do with this thing, but all of this information is here. And then lastly, you have file that allows you to open new charts, change between profiles, log in different accounts, print, um, all of that good stuff. You can, I think the last other thing I wanted to say was when you on account history, you can right click on this. This is what I do for accounting purposes. You can right click on this and save it as a detail report, save it as a report. You can review the last 3 months, all your history, whatever, and then save it as a report. Boom. Send that to the accountant, keep it moving, right? Or if you want to go through it, for yourself, however you want to do that. But this has just been your MetaTrader tour. I hope it's helpful. I hope you find something new, or maybe you just go, I never knew that, and that's cool. But I hope it's helpful, and that concludes the